Hello everyone, what is going on? I hope that you guys are doing well. I'm super excited about this training because, as I've been saying over and over again, creatives play a big, if not the biggest, role on campaign performance these days on Meta. So, in order for you to scale, you need a ton of creatives. Now, what we have seen that are working really well are text-based image ads. And they do have some elements that that they're important. And with the new version of ChatGPT, we're able to basically create this creatives super fast, and we can have a virtually unlimited amount of creatives at our disposal. So I want to share this with you. I'm super excited, and I also created this prompt that I'm going to share with you. And this prompt is set up in a way that will allow you to use the same elements that we use to actually pump out creatives that work. Okay, so make sure that you make a copy of this and you can actually go in and start filling in the blanks. So we're going to be using my Rapid Scale framework as an example, and I'm also going to provide some examples of ads that are working really well for us. But first, I'm going to walk you through this prompt so that you can go ahead and fill in the blanks and you can actually use this on ChatGPT. So here's the first thing that you want to do, right? Create a digital advertisement for a product call. And by the way, this applies for either products or seminars or webinars or VSLs or challenges or whatever it is that you're doing, right? It doesn't have to be a product per se or an information product. You can also apply this for local lead generation. You can also apply this for e-com products. The gist of the ad doesn't really change, okay? So on this case, I'm just going to change this to create a digital advertisement for a product called Rapid Scale Framework, right? By Hernan Vasquez, right? So that you'll put your brand name or your creator name. And then this is a direct response offer. And here you would put your target audience. So in this case would be, this is a direct response offer aimed at entrepreneurs, business owners, and advertisers that want to make their Meta ads work better. So here you would put your who this is for. All right. So the direct response offer is aimed towards these people. Now, the objective is design an intentional grabbing high converting ad creative optimized for paid social platforms like Meta, TikTok, and YouTube. Right. We're mostly going to be focusing on Meta. The creative might drive impulse clicks, communicating media value, build instant trust. This is optional, right? Optional. Style should resemble modern performance ads from brands like, and here you can put a couple of competitors. Again, this is not needed. So if you don't have any competitors, you can just delete this line here. But if you do, let's just put it here, like, for example, Frank Kern, Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, Alex Hormozi, etc. Right? Okay, and here's where we're going to the actual layout of the ad. So layout structure design into three main sections: headline, product visual, and CTA. Now again, product visual, I'm gonna dive into that in a second, but these are the three elements of every converting ad. Benefit-based headline, picture of the thing, as I've been saying, right? Picture of the thing, and then the CTA with a clear price offer. Now, if this is a free offer, you can put free, right? So it doesn't have to have a price. But if you do have a price, it's important to state it on the ad itself, okay? So then we're going to go into the design elements. Color, use black, red, and yellow, or pull from, and here you would put your website URL so that ChatGPT can go in and actually pull your branding elements from the website, which is pretty cool. So in this case, I'm just going to put rapidscaleframework.com, which is my website, right? So for this offer, so it's going to go in, it's going to pull the elements from these, the branding elements from this landing page, okay? And then on this case, typography, clean layout, high readability, strong hierarchy, add elements like, for example, insert credibility stamp. If you have any like testimonials or whatever, you can put it here. This is optional, right? And then insert credibility stamp, example, 100 million in sales, or we help X amount of students, that type of stuff, right? So this will be a credibility stamp on the ad. And then insert price tag. So for example, add elements like over in sales from these ads, right? And price tag, or only $5, which is on this case my, the price of this product. So on this case, we're going to give it some copy. So the main headline here, you would put your main headline, the headline that you want ChatGPT to come up with. On this case, it already has my headline, but it can be anything like, I don't know, free home buyer seminar, or discount for IV therapy, or whatever it is that you want to have on the ad. And again, this needs to be a benefit-based headline. So in my case, I'm just going to leave this, right? So how to launch and scale made ad campaigns in 10 minutes or less. That's my benefit-based headline. Now, on this case, supporting line or subtitle. So credibility line. So for example, we're gonna keep this, but here you can add a little bit of copy. Like for example, come into your area, or click here to get your discount. Those type of things. Those are the subtitle of the ad. Now, if you have a landing page, right? If you have a landing page, you can even go to your landing page and grab these elements from this landing page. So your main headline will be the same on your landing page. Your subtitle would be the subtitle on your landing page, and then the call to action would be your call to action, right? Which in this case could be get instant access, or download now, etc., etc. So in this case, let me just go to the landing page, and here we go, right? So how to launch and scale profitable ad campaigns. That's my headline, right? Then my subheadline, I can do this, boom, and then I can just have my subheadline here. Whoops, there we go. And then the call to action would be get instant access. Okay. Now these are some additional things that I added to the prompt. And then the client branding, again, I'm going to repeat my website here, rapidscaleframework.com. And now here is where you would set up the size of the ad. On this case, I would be doing a square image ad, but you can do vertical ads, you can do different type of ads. In this case, I would do 1:1 aspect ratio, 1080 pixels by 1080 pixels. So this is going to give me the final size of the ad, okay? And then here, this is optional. If you have some creatives or some image ads that have worked well for you in the past, you can add them. If not, you can just add the examples that I'm going to attach to this training, all right? So, yeah, so you can use the ones that I'm providing you with, but if you had some good ads that work for you, you can add them to this just to feed ChatGPT, right? So here we go. Create a 1080 by 1080 square ad. So you will finalize this, right? 1080 by 1080, or here you would select your size again. For the product, Rapid Launch and Scale Framework by Hernan Vasquez. This is me, right? But you would change your product name and your name or your brand name. Use the site. Here you would put your URL, rapidscaleframework.com for branding. And then headline, you would do how to launch and scale made ad campaigns in 10 minutes or less. Again, same headline we have here. Subheadline, I can just put my headline here. Boom. Whoops. There we go. And then I think that this might be a little bit too long, so I'm just going to keep it like this, okay? And then download now or get instant access. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to copy all of this, okay? I'm going to copy all of this, and then I'm going to go to ChatGPT. I'm going to just paste it there. Okay, so I have my prompt here, and then I'm going to add my my good creatives that are working really well for us. So I'm just going to attach them to this message. Okay, so I attach them to this message, and if you have like a product mockup, you can also use that, right? So you can go ahead and use that. And now I attach my images. I have my prompt. I'm just gonna boom send it to ChatGPT and see what it comes up with. So it's going to take a little bit because it's analyzing the prompt. Okay, so there we go. Now it's getting started and it's going to start creating the image. It might take a couple minutes. So I'm just going to pause the video here. I'm just going to pause the video here and then activate it in a second. Okay, boom. So it came up with this, right? How to launch a scale-made ad campaign in 10 minutes or less. Now only $5. Get instant access. Real-world examples over 100 million in sales. Da, 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 da. There we go. Hernan Vasquez, now only $5. So this is pretty good. I could definitely run this as an ad, and it took me literally 10 seconds. Okay. Now I could ask it for additional variations. So give me another variation of the same ad. And for example, if you don't like any elements, you can ask it to take out, right? But on this case, I'm pretty happy. I'm just going to go ahead and ask for another variations. And every time I do this, I like to ask like 5 variations or something along those lines because I can grab these elements and just drop them into my ad campaigns. But here's another one that's going to create. Now, while it's being created, I wanted to showcase kind of the elements here, right? So we have benefit-based headline, right? Then we have the price right here. And again, you don't need a price. It can just be get free access, right? Or free instead of like I added a price, but it doesn't have to be, right? And I did send examples of my good creatives that are working. And here it created even a mock-up of the thing, which is pretty cool. And it grabbed this thing from my website, okay? It grabbed this thing from a website. So it's pretty good. So I'm getting instant access. And again, if you don't like any of these things, you can get rid of, but price, picture of the thing, call to action here, and then benefit-based headline, and then a little bit of copy. Now the extra copy is completely optional. As long as you have the benefit-based headline, the price, and the call to action, the picture of the thing is also optional, but it's a good idea to have it. Okay, so let's see what it came up with. Okay, it basically gave me a slight variation of the same ad. Okay, so Hernan Vasquez only $5, so it gave me a slight variation. So that's good. That's good because we don't need like groundbreaking ads every time we launch new ones, right? So, okay, so now I can ask it, give me another variation, but change the colors. Okay, so it will keep on pumping out these variations. And now it's just gonna change the colors a little bit. So we're using this black, right? And by the way, this is set up so that it has really high contrast colors, which is exactly what you want. And in this case, I'm using black, yellow, red, and whatnot. But maybe your brand is a little bit different. And if it is, you want to just change the color here, right? So use black, red, yellow, or to your colors. Just make sure that they are high contrast. So here's giving me another one. So let's wait for a second. Okay, there we go. Now it gave me a full white on black, which is pretty good, right? I would definitely use this. Okay, now give me another variation, but put the price on the right and the image. Sorry, put the price on the left and the image on the right. There we go. So now it's basically going to swap these things around, all right? And we'll see what it comes up with. Okay, cool. So it gave me another variation, right? It just changed things around, right? So get instant access and whatnot. So as you can see, now it's super easy to create this. Now, let's say that I want to create a vertical video or a vertical image, right? So now give me another variation, switch the colors, and turn it into a 1080 by 1920 ad, right? So on this case, I'm going to be doing a vertical ad. Okay, so boom. So I'm asking it to give me another variation, right? Switch the colors because we already have this black and white right here, or this black, white, and gray and red, which I like a lot actually. But now it's gonna give me an 1080 by 1920. This is good for Instagram stories or Instagram Reels or Facebook Reels, that type stuff. So now let's see what it can come up with. Okay, and now it changed colors, right? And it gave me a vertical version of this ad. So pretty good. I hope that you enjoy this, and I hope that it helps you pump out creatives that